My father used to put all together everything.
And you can see the bubbles forming on the crust here, and I'm gonna flip it over.
Top class. Oh, that's a New York style pizza. The bottom looks fantastic. And now it's time to start this video. Tell me if I didn't thought about you. Come here, please. I present you to you a guy from New York. A pizza, how can I describe you? So you make New York style.
I make New York style pizza.
At home.
Home pizzaiolo.
Home pizzaiolo.
Home pizzaiolo.
Home
yeah.
New York style pizzaiolo,
Exactly,
which is different. Because we recently shot a video about New York style at home.
We did.
We did at home. So you are here because I was so surprised how perfectly you cook the New York style pizza at home.
Oh, thank you.
I ask you one question.
Sorry.
You cook it for
5.5 minutes.
It takes. And you didn't do a double cook. So it was so simple.
No.
It was so simple how you made it that today I decided to show these guys how to make the best New York style pizza at home according to you.
All right, let's do it.
You get ready?
Yeah.
I see just a few different
It's
ingredients.
just a couple of ingredients. The dough's super simple. You don't even need any equipment.
I was ready already to make the pizza with the mixer.
Well, today we're gonna make it. Not everyone
By
has
hands.
a mixer at home, so we're just gonna make it by hand.
Okay,
just
even
a couple
better.
of simple ingredients.
A
Same
guy
ingredients
from
probably.
New York for a New York pizza at home. Get ready, sit down, watch until the end, and smash a like and subscribe if they like the recipe.
We have 1 kilogram or 1,000 grams of bread flour, 600 grams of cold water, 30 grams of olive oil, 20 grams of salt.
Now the yeast, I know the USA, we are in Italy, it's hard to find a dry yeast.
Yeah, typically I use an active dry yeast, but here today we're gonna use some fresh yeast. Well, for this batch, I would do 1/4 teaspoon of active dry yeast. Yeah, which is roughly a gram.
So here in this case you need just a quarter of fresh yeast.
Yeah,
So
roughly.
that's all we need. So okay, do your magic here.
All right.
And show the New York style
So
pizza dough.
first we'll start off with the 600 grams. I have separated the 1,000 grams into 600 and 400. So 600 grams to match the 600 grams of water will make 100% hydration. So we add 600 grams of flour, 1/4 teaspoon of active dry yeast, and in this case, a chunk of fresh yeast, which I've actually never used before. I've never even touched fresh yeast before.
It's the same thing, it's just more weak.
So if I use like 1 teaspoon of active
We use
dry,
a quarter of this, so basically this is 25 grams. It's about,
so we use more fresh yeast then. So then I just incorporate the yeast into the flour. I just give it a little mix. And then we add our 600 grams of cold water. This is the first stage of incorporation. It's just easier to get everything mixed evenly when it's a little runnier like this.
so this is a same day dough.
Yeah, basically it started as, for years I used this as a same day dough recipe, and I would let it ferment room temperature for about 6 hours before I ball, and then I would let it rest and proof for another like hour and a half. So now that our yeast is incorporated into this batter, it's protected from the salt. You don't want the salt to touch it directly. So now we can add our salt.
This is everybody says, not everybody. Some people say that salt kills the yeast.
Does
You
it
need to know-
actually? I mean,
you
that's
need
what
to
I've
know-
seen.
You need to know that no, it
It
doesn't
doesn't?
kill this. No.
Well, I'm learning now too.
My father used to put all together everything.
All just in one big thing
Yeah.
and go for it?
Yeah. So nothing happened.
All these years.
It's just something that the people want to say.
I've been so protective of my yeast for all these years. It
You're
turns
not
out,
using mother yeast.
so it only
Mother
matters
yeast
with mother yeast.
It might kill it.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
now I'm adding my salt. Just lightly incorporate it, and now I can add the rest of my flour.
The rest 400 grams of flour.
So now we have a total of 1,000 grams of flour, 600 grams of water, so it's a 60% hydration dough. I like to do 60% hydration for my New York style pizza specifically. And before it gets too mixed, now I'm gonna add my oil, incorporate the rest of it.
We say everything by grams. People
Yes.
wants to know cups, spoon.
It's easier to measure by metrics, but I mean, if you wanted to, I have standard measurements we could put in the caption, but like I usually would
Yeah, I
do,
will put it on the video.
if I did 2 cups of water, I would do like 4 cups of flour.
I will put the same recipe that what we say in grams, but I'm gonna write it down in,
Standard measurements.
yes. How long we gonna mix it for?
I actually don't mix very long. I just get it until it's incorporated.
Altogether, okay.
I don't even need when I make my dough. So there's still some chunkiness and unevenness to it. So I just kind of poke it out to smooth it a little bit until everything incorporates a little bit better. If you do have a mixer at home, it'll come out silky smooth. But if you don't,
So it's a little bit more difficult to make it by hands.
so if you do have a mixer at home, the ingredients will incorporate smoother, faster, but you can effectively get like a similar texture mixing by hand if you let it cold ferment for longer. So like while my dough is like ready to go the next day, if I use the mixer, if I let it cold ferment in the fridge for like a week, it'll have a more similar texture quality. And the gluten structure has more time to develop. So once all the ingredients are somewhat smoothly incorporated, you know, it's a little bumpy. It's not like perfectly silky smooth, but once I'm not seeing like big chunks of flour, it's ready to have a rest period. So now that I'm done mixing, now all we do is put the lid on and we can set it to rest.
6 hours.
For 6 hours at room temperature. So now our dough has rested for 6 hours. You can see it's grown quite a bit.
Nice.
I'm gonna flour my surface really quick before I start, just lightly. Drop it out of the container. And
So
I don't flour the
container,
the
okay.
container surface.
Press, press, press. Take off all the air to the crust.
And then I'm gonna fold it over, flatten it again.
You're actually taking all out. I never do this.
And then I do the same thing, I turn it. Essentially, I'm just turning it this way, and then I'm gonna flip it over again.
Fantastic.
And then I'm gonna do it one more time. I'm gonna turn it, and then flip it over. And then
How are you gonna make the balls now?
now we're gonna use a dough scraper just to cut the balls. Get up a little flour just so it has.
What's the weight of the ball? 10 ounces?
Yeah, for these 12-inch pizzas, we're gonna make a 250 to 280 gram dough ball. So first I'll cut it, and then I'll cut each half into 3.
Oh, I just wanna see how you make the ball.
So we have our 6 even portions. I'm gonna use the floured outside as the skin, and the sticky part's gonna remain inside. So I'm just gonna sort of a cup or a bowl shape, and then fold it over so the sticky part stays on the inside, like a hot dog bun. And then I'm gonna take the 2 pointed ends, and I'm gonna stick them together too. And then I'm gonna go around in a circle and pinch it closed.
Beautiful.
And then I put the pinch side down on the storage surface.
Now we close. Boom, boom, boom. Voila. How long we gonna let it ferment for?
Now we just let these dough balls proof for about 90 minutes, and we're ready to stretch.
Fantastic. I can't wait. Let's get ready with all the ingredients.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, the dough is ready, you know?
The dough is ready.
Let's check it out. Ooh, lovely. Nice. How do we know that the dough is ready?
You can press your dough ball with your finger, and if it grows back, that means it's ready to go.
Before I make the pizza, they wanna see how you make the sauce. So this is just I open up the can.
This is just canned crushed tomatoes. This is pretty much ready to go. All I do is I add a little bit of seasoning. Most importantly, a little bit of salt. I sometimes use a little bit of brown sugar.
Okay, I'm leaving. Bye. After this,
Hi, Vito.
sugar on the sauce.
And then I'll spice it up with a little bit of chili flakes sometimes, but
we don't have it.
not today.
We don't have it.
And then it's ready to go. You can do this with canned crushed tomatoes, or you can buy the whole peeled and just crush them by hand, or sometimes I'll use like a potato masher. And you can do that if you like it a little bit chunkier. Then we're gonna use fresh mozzarella today. I don't think low moisture mozzarella cheese is too popular here, right?
No.
Anyway,
I like to use the
it's all
scamorza. They can use scamorza. Scamorza is like provolone.
Then we got some Parmigiano Reggiano grated. And then a little bit of olive oil. You can do olive oil, and then basil too. I put a little basil under the cheese.
Show how take it out the dough from the box.
A little bit of flour on top, and then I just scoop the flour underneath to help separate it from the surface.
Show me the bottom, the fermentation. Nice. Then you put it right here, right?
Yeah, right into a big bowl of flour. Okay, so then we're just gonna flip it in the flour a couple times, get it nice and coated. Wow, that rice flour has like a very specific texture. It's kind of chalky. So I'm not gonna start forming my crust yet. I'm just gonna poke through the whole thing like it's a focaccia, and then flip it over and do the same thing on the other side. And then I'm gonna press the air starting from the center out to the crust. And you can see the bubbles forming on the crust here, and I'm gonna flip it over. I start from halfway again, and I'm gonna push this air to the crust on this side. And then I'm gonna poke out the center a little bit. I can feel it's getting a sticky, so I'm gonna add a little bit more flour. So the smooth side of the dough ball is gonna be my bottom. You can do either on the top or the bottom. I just like to use the smooth side on the bottom because it's easier to get off the peel. And then I stretch just before I can see through it. I don't want it to be too thin.
You use gravity.
Yes, exactly. I'm doing the steering wheel method. And on a longer bake, on a New York style, the dough will dry out because it's a longer bake. So you want it to be a little bit thicker. And then when you do like a Sicilian style, something even thicker, you bake for even longer, so.
It's good. And we have a 12 inches.
And this is a nice little 12-inch New York style pizza dough. So I'm just gonna add the tomatoes. I like to use extra sauce.
I'm gonna check the oven, okay? Because I set it up at the max temperature for about 1 hour because we had the steel.
And then
I'm checking if it sticks.
then I'll just do like a
Parmesan cheese?
little swirl of Parmesan, yeah. Now I'll add some basil for color and flavor. I like to use a decent amount, like a little extra cheese. I usually just go right in the center. And then I just spread everything out.
Maybe it's too much because this is fresh mozzarella.
Yeah, fresh mozzarella's got a higher hydration than a low moisture cheese. And I don't want it to get too soupy, so I'm gonna thin it out a little bit.
Okay, perfect. Peel. We'll go in the oven. Okay. I'm gonna make it 12 inches. Okay, then I'm gonna follow you.
I'm gonna
with
use
the
a
oven.
tiny little bit of olive oil on the crust. You don't want to coat it, but just have a little bit on there. Sometimes I get some nice blistering from that.
Top class. Boom. Now we cook it for.
I'm gonna say 7 minutes. We'll give it a check around like 3 or 4, see how it's looking.
Friend, the pizza is ready. Ooh, let's check it out. Let's check it out. Oh my God. How long ago was that?
7 minutes at 550 degrees Fahrenheit.
Fantastic. Show me the pizza here. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. That's a New York style pizza. The bottom looks fantastic. Oh, ooh, soft and crunchy. Wow. Made at home. Show again the bottom. That's what I'm talking about. That's a pizza. Wow. Top class. Okay, my friend, it's time to cut the pizza and taste. Whoa, 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 come here. Here, the crunch. Still soft and crunchy. Rub a slice, let's show us how it looks like. It holds it really well, eh? Full of air. I have to say, this is a good New York style pizza.
Delicious.
Wow. You want to ask something to my subscribers?
I got my page, it's Pizza of Art, P-I-Z-Z-O-F-A-R-T.
This is on Instagram, also YouTube.
On YouTube. Also
Go on YouTube.
Instagram.
If you have any question, comment below.
Yep.
If you have something to say to this guy, comment below. I'll see you the next week with a new video.